Okay. Well, I upped the bitrate, so it seems that the video quality should be a lot better, a lot smoother than the intro I just recorded, but now I'm gonna actually play the game. So, I guess to start off, where am I at? I I did some kind of basic setup. I'm a few hours into the game. Um, I've been leveling Conjuration up in order to get. Actually, now that I think about it, there's a few more intro things I like to get. I guess the intro that I recorded before was more of a general intro to what I'm doing, and this is gonna be uh, a state of my character. So I started as. Let me give a little character overview. Started as a Breton and chose the Lord sign. I really don't think there's a better combination here. The Breton with the 50% magical resist is just amazing early on. The higher you can stack these percent resistances, the more effective they are. You really want to get to, 85 shield, which is, general physical damage resistance. You want to get it. You want to get to 85 as fast as you can, which is basically the first step in this plan, or maybe more like the second step. I don't know really how to define where one step begins and one step ends, but it's very important to get that to 85 as early as you can. In addition, you get an extra 15% magic resist, and like I said, stacking more and more magic resist is fantastic, because now I have 65% resist. I'm taking a third of the damage that I would normally take from magic attacks. So even from level 1, I'm pretty resilient when it comes to magic damage, which is good. It's important to not take damage in a game where or in a challenge run where you're trying not to die. So I don't think there's a much better combination. This also lets you, in order to get max magic resist, this lets you do one of two things. You can either get the mundane ring, which a lot of people are familiar with. It's a pretty late game ring that has a guaranteed drop if you do the main mission in the main story after level 22. And the other way is to get perfectly 100% magic resist is the Aelid Crown or Aeliid Crown of Lindai. I always mispronounce Aelid. Sorry, I always mispronounce Aeliid as Aelid because when I was young I always pronounced it Aelid. Anyway, um, yeah, so that is how I'm going to cap magic resist. That's how I did in my previous character. Yeah, and on my previous character, I pretty much had everything solved, so this is more or less retracing the steps, doing it a little faster, because I know actually how to do it. So for a while, I won't have to really look anything up, but I do imagine that eventually, if I'm recording these in a unedited, long-form format, I do imagine eventually you'll see me on the wiki quite a bit, because I do not remember this game perfectly, and there are some missions and some locations where caution is a necessity, or just in general caution is a necessity, and I'm going to be careful and look up what these missions are about beforehand and see if there's too much I have to worry about them. But I will be doing everything in the game, so if there's a mission in particular that you're interested in or worried about, I will be doing it. So yeah, I think the scariest mission that I found just looking it over. I mean, some missions are just annoying logistically speaking, because if you do one mission before another mission, then it means you can't complete that mission. So you just got to be careful in the order in which you do these missions. That's one thing. That's not really scary. That's more just planning and task management. The scariest missions are things like Through a Nightmare Darkly, and kind of the arena missions. You can't do any of the arena missions till you're pretty strong, because, uh, partly because if you do them early, you'll probably die because you don't have enough resistances and health to deal with the later rounds, even if the enemies are scaled based on your level. And then in the kind of like later stages, well, the enemies scale with you, so they're going to be pretty tough, so you need end game gear. So it's not going to be for a while that I do the arena. In fact, I was about to do the arena on my other character. I was 90 hours in. So, yeah, that is pretty much, yeah, I guess the overview of my character. I guess I should also go over attributes. So huge emphasis on agility, speed, endurance, and strength. That's going to get your HP to max, but critically speed. That means you just can run away from enemies. Running away from enemies, being able to dodge arrows and attacks and spells. I mean, it's just incredibly valuable. I wish it was higher, but you have to kind of go Breton because the Breton's innate, magic resistance. That's just something you can't pass up. So it's kind of funny. Intelligence and willpower will stay this way for a long time until I get 100 strength, agility, speed, and endurance. Yeah, the way that I've planned it out is that I'm not going to be leveling up for a while, but let me finish by going over my major skills. I changed these from my first character because I think that for major skills, you want skills here that are either one of two things. One, they're very difficult to level up. And so you want the kind of bonus XP that you get, or rather the bonus learn rate, whatever it's called. Basically, you level up these major skills at a faster rate than the minor skills. So something like athletics. I think it's good to have athletics high, because you're going to be sprinting a lot in any playthrough. But it's also something where, even in my other character, choosing athletics as a major skill, I only got to like 60 at 90 hours in. I did get to 100 acrobatics, but I also didn't choose acrobatics as a major skill. So anyway, athletics levels up very slowly if it's not a major skill, so I want to keep that as a major skill. Armor is one that I didn't have last time. Armor is really, really important, and I ended up having to train it a bunch. Ooh, now that makes me remember another minor, interesting exploit. Not really an exploit, just kind of, maybe it is a little bit of an exploit. Anyway, I'll get to that bridge when I come to it in many, many hours. But anyway, I had to train armor on my other character a bunch, so I'm hoping that by making it a major skill, I can get it to that critical 75 point without having to spend too many or spend too much money at skill trainers. Mainly what I'm going to be spending money at skill trainers to do is to get my light armor to max, because ultimately I'm going to be wearing light armor at the very end game, mainly because I want to wear the raiment of the Crimson Scar, I think it's called, which is an incredibly powerful light armor. But yeah, I chose heavy armor now because heavy armor is important, I think, early game. You want to be wearing heavy armor early because it degrades much more slowly. So in combat, when you're taking a lot of damage, it's less likely to break, and you're less likely to lose that effectiveness. And also, it just has higher armor rating than light armor for earlier sets. So it's important to have a nice bump, an early game bump to heavy armor. By getting it to 26, it degrades at a normal rate, and it's pretty high up there. Mainly because you want this to have a boost because you don't want to get hit, and if you don't want to get hit, then heavy armor is really hard to train. The best way I would think to do it safely is there's a quest of 4 rats in a basement that you do for the Mages Guild. You can aggro them, or sorry, the Fighters Guild. You can aggro them and they can just hit you with your shield up, but I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to level my heavy armor that way, mainly because I don't think I need to, and that would still take a while, and I'd have to run all the way over to Anvil. I also don't know if aggroing the rats messes with the quest as well. I'm not 100% sure on that. Oh yeah, the other thing I didn't mention in the intro is that I'm not going to fast travel. Yeah, this is a no fast travel playthrough. I guess this is like the second intro, basically. I missed a lot of important details, but it's my first time doing something like this. So yeah, right now, so this is my character. Armor, important to get high as fast as possible. That's why I made a major skill this time, even though it levels up pretty easily. I want to spend as little money at trainers to get it to 75, because 75 is a huge breakpoint in terms of durability. Is a huge breakpoint in terms of both defensive power and offensive power, because you get a 25% boost to your damage and to the armor rating of all your armor. So important to get to 75 as quickly as possible. Blade, blade and block I had before. Block is always going to be useful because it's another defensive layer on top of all your other defensive layers. It will reduce the damage taken with a shield. If you're blocking with a shield, reduce the damage taken by 1% per block level up to 75%. So I kind of want to get this to 75 as fast as possible, but more than anything, an early bump to blade and block means I have a decent amount of defenses and damage from an early stage. Even though I think very early on I'm going to be favoring marksman, just because I'm going to be hitting enemies with poisons from range, and that's how I'm going to kill them. Until I have like very solid defenses, a good health pool, and a lot of other stuff, I'm going to be hitting them from range with poisons, and that's just how that's just how combat's going to play out. You summon something, and then hit them with range with poison. I didn't get Conjuration there because Conjuration levels. I didn't get Conjuration as a major skill because it levels so fast already. You don't need the early bump. I didn't even take it as one of my skills, and it's already very, very high up. Alchemy I didn't take as a skill. I didn't realize the power of Alchemy, both as a means of money, monetary gain, as well as the offensive, just honestly, offensive, defensive, everything. Some of the potions you can make with this, once you can make single ingredient potions, are just so powerful, and potion effects can stack up to 10 times at Master Alchemy. So it is really important to get this as high as possible, as quickly as possible. And in fact, I'm going to be grinding 100 Alchemy almost immediately as soon as I get done blabbing away in this second intro. Then heavy armor. Right, I already said heavy armor. Yeah, early boost in stats mainly. I want to survive this early game. Early game is the hardest part of this. Eventually, I'm going to be so powerful that nothing will really be able to kill me. I'd have to be a dumbass to die, which I'm capable of being, apparently. But it's good, very good for early game. This is mainly a means of getting me through the early game. If I do take damage, that means I'll be leveling up my heavy armor faster than normal, which is great. So, yeah. So I have, those are why I chose my major skills. Yeah, nothing else to really note here. Yeah, and I mean, that's pretty much the actual end of the intro, the second intro. And I had just been leveling up my Conjuration a bit, summoning Bound Dagger and Helmet. There's actually no, like, enemy or allied summons that you can get from Novice Conjurer. So I had to level it up to, was this Apprentice? Yeah, I had to level up to Apprentice in order to get Summon Zombie, because this early game is going to be, early game combat is summon an enemy for the enemies to fight while I shoot them with poisons from a distance. And I'm really not going to have to do too much combat early game. Before, when I did my first playthrough, I was just kind of like timidly exploring the local area, like these caves and so on, and I nearly died several times doing that because enemies are terrifying. They are scary in this early game. And now that I have the wisdom of experience, I know not to do that. I know to do what I'm about to do, which is level up my alchemy a bunch and get really rich and get a bunch of levels. And then, once I've done that, let me set this marker because I think this is actually where I'm going to go next. Once I've done that, then I do kind of a sequence that I will talk about later. I'll talk about it when I'm farming up here, up in Coral. But yeah, right now I think I'm ready to head out. I was debating as to whether or not I wanted to level up one more time, because as it stands right now, doing the math, iron and steel bows with iron or steel arrows would probably kill me I mean, they definitely kill me in 2 hits, but they'd almost one-shot me if I didn't block with my shield. So I'm really scared of anyone that has a bow. The idea now is that I'm going to run up to Frostcrag Spire to get the quest to unlock the merchant down here. So I'll explain why that's important in a bit. But if I stay along the roads, I should have, maybe a bandit or two. And most of the time the road bandits don't have bows. They have like some weapon. And honestly, even if they do have a bow, oftentimes as long as you just kind of like walk up to them, you can pay 100 gold and they'll let you go. So I'm probably just going to walk straight up to Bruma. Have to avoid the goblins that are right here, and then run up the mountain, get there. And while I'm not allowing fast travel, I am allowing in-game teleports, which really the only one I know of is the teleport from Frostcrag Spire. So I'm going to be going to Frostcrag Spire quite a bit, particularly instead of running all the way down to Leowin, I will almost always just run up to Frostcrag Spire and teleport down there. So yeah, no fast travel, but I can use the magic teleport system. What else? I did just think of another save loading thing. Basically, I'm going to allow save loading, but not for combat and not for like failed missions. Like if Martin dies in the sequence with Marin's Dagon at the very end of the final mission, that'll count as a death. You also have to prepare for that. Yeah, I'm going to allow save loading for the sigils and one or two other things. There's one or two other things are basically the one thing is down here. I'm going to be save loading for this hideout. There's a chest in here when you buy all the upgrades. This is also where you get the raiment of the Crimson Scar, but there's two things in here beyond the raiment that are very powerful and important. One in the shrine area of this hideout, which I'm forgetting what this hideout is called. Deep Scorn Hollow, I think maybe. Anyway, I'm explaining too much maybe. Maybe it's best to let things happen, and then when I get there I explain it. But I'm going to allow a little bit of save loading, mainly to farm for jewelry. I'm going to do it at least once. I don't have to do it a second time, but there's another place for a mission in Anvil that you can do it with a boat. That one technically is combat save loading, so I'm not going to do that, even though it's very convenient to do. I'm going to stick with the rules that I set, and the only one that I'm going to do is this non-combat save load. Yeah. So only allowing save loading when I'm not in combat. So that does mean in the Oblivion gates, I'm going to have to kill everything before getting and taking the sigil stone, which isn't really too bad most of the time. At that point, by the time I'm doing Oblivion gates, by the time I get to Kvatch, I'm pretty powerful, pretty much immune to damage. So, yeah, okay. So I think now, mulling it over my head, I have one of two things to do. I either gain enough money to buy 5 more levels in light armor, so that I have a little bit more HP when running out into the world. Yeah. I don't know if I'm going to do that. That'd be a little weird to start off with, but let's look at my inventory real quick. I do have a bit of... I'm almost at carrying capacity, so... You know what, I think I am going to try and maybe get a little bit more money before I go and do this. And sell off some of my potions. What time is it right now? It's 6 in the morning. 6 in the morning. It's like 30 more minutes, I think, to record. But I think hopefully as time goes on, the quality of these recordings will go up. But I'm just kind of winging it for now. So I'm also just kind of talking out my ass. Damn. I guess right at 6 o'clock all those lights go off. Never noticed that. Yeah. So I'm just going to be kind of freeform talking. Mainly about the game, but I might, you know, blab about any of a million things. So, gosh, keep losing track. Maybe I have ADHD. Wouldn't be surprised. Okay, let's wait till these stores open. I think I have a decent amount of alchemical ingredients. Yeah, I have quite a few Amnita caps. Quite a few repair hammers, but I do want to keep those. Mutton, mainly. Either I have to drop this mutton or actually make a fortify health potion. I can't make a fortify health potion, so I have to drop all this mutton. Then There's a restore health potion I think I can make, yeah. So, yeah, early on it's gonna be a lot of healing, or sorry, a lot of alchemy. Really making restore fatigue potions. But I guess I'll get to that when I actually get to the farm. If I can get to that farm, I should be in a good spot to just kind of, you know, beat the entire game. This game is pretty solvable. What is crab meat? Store endurance. Store endurance and resist shock. Let's see if I can make something with those. No. Store endurance. Okay. Fortify endurance, restore endurance. That's good. Now let me drop those two. Rat meat, damage, fatigue. Let's see if I can make that as well. Nope. So drop all that rat meat. Let's sort this by weight. Okay. I think that's most of what I can make. I don't think I have yeah, I have too many of these, but I'll keep them for the time being. I can make more poisons, but I kind of want to. I'm not gonna sell the poison, so I'm gonna hold off on that a little bit. Yeah, I think I'm good otherwise. I think these eventually can be used. I think their third effect down there on the right is restore health. Maybe the third or fourth effect. So I kind of want to keep them to maybe make some more restore health potions. Okay, I think that's most of what I have. Go over here because this vendor likes me more than that other one, and they have a lower bartering skill, so I should be able to get more money out of this.
Can I interest you in some of my wares?
Let's see, yeah, I'm getting 72% from her, or sorry, yeah, selling item 72%. So let's look at my potions. Fire shield I want to keep because shield is important. Night eye doesn't matter. Store magicka is good to have for the time being. Store endurance, I think I can sell all of those, to be honest. I don't think my endurance is going to get drained. Hopefully not. Store fatigue, I want to keep some of those. 7 for 26, 7 for 25. They both weigh 0.2, so let me sell those.
You got a great deal there.
Potion of respite is fine. Actually, this is 7 points for 26. Honestly, I can sell some of these just for the carry weight. This is a nice instantaneous bump, but at this point, 3 seconds, and I've restored as much as this restores, so yeah. Yeah, these restore fatigue potions, and the restore magic potions get really outscaled by alchemy potions. The restore health potions, well, restore health you kind of need that instantaneous bump in those, you know, those dire encounters. So it's important to still keep a few of those. I don't actually see. Do I have? Yeah. No, I have this one. Do I not have a restore health potion? Damn, that's not good. Oh well. Oh no, I think I have some that are stolen. That's why they're not showing up. Shield potions are fine.
Come back. You too.
How much money do I have? 560. Okay. Ideally, I'd be able to get 5. There is a light armor trainer in the Imperial City that I already used once. This is gonna cost like 950 for 5 levels, because it's based on 10 gold per level per your skill level. I could get the first I could get the first 2 levels right now. Can I get the 3rd level? That would be 160, 70, 80. So we're looking at 350 plus 160, so 510. I could get the first 3 levels, and I think that's fine. I think that's fine. Because hopefully, I'm not wearing any light armor now, but maybe hopefully I can get like 1 point of light armor somewhere. I don't know when I would be wearing light armor, but maybe this is fine. Yeah. I think I'll just pay for 3 levels. I almost instinctively alt tab sometimes. Mm-mm-mm. I love that little, like, second where you're loading into an area and everything kind of, like, is disturbed and then settles in and then, you know, everything's fine. But it's always kind of funny that seeing things kind of, you know, yeah, like just kind of fade in like that, and your character just kind of like drops to the floor a little bit. Anyway, little funny things to notice. I'm playing Oblivion. He's over here. I keep jumping, keep running, leveling my stamina. One thing I wasn't sure, I know that the movement formula is somewhat involved. It's related to your encumbrance, which is related to how much weight you're carrying.
Don't grow.
But,
Let's see if we can teach you a thing or two. Goodbye.
how much money do I have now? I have like nothing. 50. Okay. 50, 189, 189. Okay, perfect. That's good. Because I'm going to level up once, so I'll have like 60 carry weight, which should be fine. Let's see what's in these barrels. Not glad I'll still have enough for a one-night stay in the King and Queen Tavern. I do wonder, I'm just using my headset mic. In the audio recordings, I could hear my keyboard, as maybe you hear now in the recording. It's a little hard to hear through the sound dampening of my headset.
How can
but
I help you?
I think it shows up in the recording. At least it's not too distracting.
Welcome to the King and Queen Tavern.
All right. I don't think I'm gonna wait for much
Need a
longer.
place to rest. Very well. Take
Here.
care.
40 gold to my name. Level 19 light armor, I think, is fine. So yeah, if I'm level 20, that means I need 80 points, which is 16 levels. Right? 16 levels to get to maximum. If I'm just training and not actually getting hit and leveling up normally. That should be fine because ideally I am going to save my level ups so that the enemies don't scale, they're more manageable if I happen to run into enemies. And yeah, basically I'm scared of leveling up in this early game. Until I'm very powerful, I'm scared of leveling up. And even as level 3, I can get to 85% resistances fairly easily. And that's what I'm going to do, essentially, so that enemies aren't as scary as they are now. Yeah, now that I leveled up, let's see, my new health is 102, that's great. 102 with 35% resistance, plus I have protect, putting me at 39 because of spell effectiveness. Pretty solid. At level 3, I don't think enemies will have the next tier of weapons. And this is where... I was looking up OBS related things earlier. I'm gonna keep that up. Doesn't matter. I'll be checking the wiki quite a bit to double check the damage numbers, make sure that I'm not about to die. Yeah, so yeah, they don't start getting silver until level 4. So they can have steel from level 2. Steel will be found at level 1 and skeleton. Interesting. So they could have already had steel at level 1. So level 3, I have steel. I already have full steel armor. You can steal a full set of steel armor in the Imperial City. But at level 4, level 4 they have fine steel. Never appear in randomly. All these weapons and they were figured out in NPCs' inventories are not randomly generated in particular guards. Interesting. Maybe I should level up one more time and buy fine steel. No, I think steel is fine. Fine steel is not going to be a huge jump. Critically, level 4 is where enemies start getting silver weapons. And silver bow, 10 damage. Steel bow, 9 damage. Also, silver arrows are 13. 23 total damage. And Oblivion Remastered with a times 6 damage multiplier means I'm taking 138 damage if they were hitting me with silver. With 40% resistance, I would survive that. 40% resistance would knock it down to like, quick mental math is 13.8 is 10%, so 52 plus 3.2, 55 off of 138. So I would survive it because that's less than 100 too. But only one shot of it. Anyway, point being, not going to give them this next tier of arrows, not going to give them this next tier of bow, not going to let the random enemies have that. Going to stay where they can only have steel bow and steel arrow at best, and yeah, work with that, because that's 21, which is still 126 damage, but I should more comfortably survive that, and I might even be able to survive 2 shots with my shield, if I'm blocking with my shield. I'm not going to run the numbers on that, but I think level 3 is a good point to head out in the world. Head out into the world. Although I really only have to stay in the wilderness for a short while, and I'm going to avoid combat like the plague.
I ran into some goblins.
Yeah, I've stolen pretty much everything in my inventory. All my armor stolen, and I sold the armor I had for money.
She jumps like a toad. She'll also teach others how to do it.
Jumps like a toad. Let's see. Time to head out, I think. Time to actually do something in this playthrough. The goal here is to head north along the road as much as possible. Maybe stop in Bruma, see if I can get some free stuff from the Mages Guild in Bruma. I think they're pretty small, though. Maybe the Fighters Guild as well. Maybe just stop in Bruma, see what I can get, see what I can grab. And then, once I've done there, head east, avoid the goblins critically. I think I have to go a little north and then around. Jump up the mountain. Get to Frostcrag Spire. Get inside. Teleport to Coral. Farm $1 million. Farm $1 million. Wait, I wasn't alt tabbed when I was saying that.
What is
I'm gonna probably miss alt tab 1,000 times. I don't know how people who stream consistently don't do that. I can understand like taking that out in like an edited video or whatever, but this is just gonna be long format.
Hello there.
Maybe I should stream this.
I heard people saying they ran.
But weirdly, I feel like here talking to myself in the void a lot more natural and normal than talking to nobody on like Twitch. Like if there was 0 viewers and someone could jump in, it would feel weird for me to just talk. But in this long format, I guess the idea is this: is that maybe on Twitch no one would watch, and so I would just really be talking to myself. But under the guise of recording, I should stop dicking around and pay attention to what I'm actually doing, so I could die to a mud grab. Under the guise of... Where was I going with this zombie? You're getting a little worse for wear. I did a great job with this remaster. Yeah, I just think if I'm going to record this and then like upload it in the long format to YouTube, I think that it's much more likely that someone at some point might hear it than if I streamed it on Twitch and then it was just like my VOD or whatever. Although I could stream it on Twitch and then upload to YouTube. You know, all that's too much work. I think live streaming is also a bit more taxing on one's computer. I have a 3080, but I don't know if that'd be good enough. I also don't want the recording or streaming to impact my you know, the actual game too much. Okay, well, first goal is to cross the river. There's gonna be some mud crabs around here. Sometimes the ambient noise of the little critters can be unnerving. Sounds like an enemy. Over there in Vilverin, yeah, Vilverin, there is an archer that sits outside there in the bandit camp, so we can't walk around that way. There's another cave with enemies that spawn outside, so that's a little risky. I have not really encountered a lot of slaughterfish in this lake, in Lake Rumare. So, and oftentimes they only get aggressive if you get really close. So I think the best thing to do is just jump in and swim across. I kind of want to kill the mud crab over here, just for shits and giggles. or to level up my marksman. God, dude. The fact that summons don't scale, or don't have the difficulty scaling applied to them is a huge blessing, both in this game and in Skyrim. So I was starting my Skyrim playthrough, and Skyrim apparently poisons are scaled with the difficulty, but summons still aren't. So summons become quite important, you know, if for no other reason than they are a good distraction, even at low levels. So Skyrim will be later, after I 100% this game. Look forward to the Skyrim playthrough. It's kind of fun. I like recording this. I don't know why I said that. Anyway, let's jump in. Ooh. Don't think... I'm going to stay a little underwater in case I see any fish. Have to be careful of mud crabs on the opposite bank. But right now I'm most scared of a fish swimming up and killing me in one shot. Oh, detect life can help a little bit. There's a mud crab right there. No one around me, hopefully. Okay, perfect. Where's that mud crab down there? Kinda wish I had done my Fallout 3 New Vegas runs recorded. But hopefully, I mean, there's gonna be a Fallout 3 remaster. You know what I'm actually just realized? It's actually gonna be a lot scarier recording this, mainly because I kind of zone out when blabbering on like this. So I'm gonna have to lock in, go silent at some points. So anyway, yeah, I've done some runs in some games like this. Really just Fallout 3 New Vegas. I was gonna do Skyrim, and then maybe eventually Fallout 4. And I was planning on doing Original Oblivion, before I did this. Original Oblivion, I think that's an interesting talking point, and I'll maybe bring it up a few times as I play, or as I run into things that are different between this game and the original game. I will say the original game probably marginally harder to do this sort of challenge run on, for two main reasons. One, no sprinting. Sprinting is nice, although enemies can sprint at the same time, but I think it's generally in your favor to have sprinting. That said, I think with 100 speed or whatever in normal Oblivion, you'd be fine too. So looking at this inn, I don't think there's much here. There's gonna be some like leveled treasure hunters
what is it
and some
now?
armor.
What's going on with you?
It's you.
I'm not gonna get this quest. I'm gonna try and avoid actually running into any locations because they...
I understand days in the wilderness become
Ooh, I forgot one thing to do in Imperial City. I'll have to do it when I come back. Forgot to go to the bookstore in Imperial City. That was the one thing I was supposed to do before I left. Could run back, but yeah, I'm already out in the wilderness. Okay, so let's turn back here. Whip these. Yeah, I'm gonna want to avoid locations, not only because the locations will have enemies outside very frequently, but also as a bookkeeping measure, it's a little annoying. Damn, I'm gonna walk right past this one, aren't I? Yeah, I'll have to walk around it. Get some more magicka. I really don't want to run straight through the wilderness. I do want to stick to the roads as much as possible. I'm gonna have to take a bit of a circuitous route to reconnect with the road, and then attempt to avoid picking up the, just avoid that in general. There could be bandits down there. I see a little camp. I actually don't think I went to that location in my other playthrough. In the first iteration. May he rest in peace. Oh. Okay. Well, that scared me a little bit. I didn't really see him through the bush. Who Okay. Okay, thank God. I didn't have to shoot my poison bow. Good to know he is strong enough to take down a wolf. I mean, if he weren't, that would be bad. I do have some defensive layers that I can use that are quite powerful, but part of me is also worried that I've, even before starting this recording and, talking and talking to distract myself. Ooh, one of the heaven stones or rune stones or whatever these are called. I kind of become so powerful that I was running around recklessly, which is what led to my death. And I'll let people guess for a while what my death was caused by until I get to what caused it. But yeah, gotta be careful not to get complacent because enemies really hurt. I don't want to look up how much damage that wolf would have done, but it was gonna be oh wait, I can't do it because it's not nighttime. That's fine. Don't need that. Some monk shoed. Here a bee or a fly, whatever that is. God, I forgot how slow you are at the start of this game. Early game really is scary in this. And the entire strategy here is to avoid the early game. Part of the reason I'm in third person as well is that I think it provides just a wider field of vision. You can see your character better. See if something's running at me better. Yeah, mainly just worried about a thief with a bow. I'm gonna periodically save just for crashes. Yeah. How much longer? 7:55. Okay. Go for a bit longer. Kind of want to get to Frostcrag Spire, and then I can call it a day. Call it a successful run. Sometimes I'll do these in huge segments, like several hours, but oh no. Yeah, this guy doesn't seem to have a bow. I hope there's only one. Level 3, he shouldn't have too much. She's gone. She's gone. One thing I hate is that you can't see the health bars of enemies unless you're doing damage to them. I think that's a really annoying feature of this game. Just grab these. I'm poor, I have no money. Actually, I'll grab everything. Fur shield. All that fur armor. I knew there's gonna be bandits. But luckily the poisons work. Poisons are perhaps the single greatest weapon I have. That's why I'm getting Alchemy to 100 first. Well, that's one of the two reasons, that and money. But yeah, once I actually get into fighting enemies, really, God, you go so slow. Once I get into the real combat, poisoning enemies, hitting them with a weakness to poison spell, and then hitting them once with a high level poison. Very strong. Very effective combo. Don't even need an enchanted weapon. Just hit them with Umbra, soul trap them. Use it as fuel for your other weapons. It's a nice gameplay loop. I miss it. Wish I had it back. I do hum a lot. I'm just now noticing. God, it's so... Ooh. Is that a wolf or a deer? Every enemy. Every enemy is scary. Goddamn, zombie. Could you be a little quieter? I do hum a lot. I don't think I'm gonna stop. Even if it's annoying on the recording. I don't think it is. But that wouldn't change. Gotta stay true. Okay. Almost to Bruma. Do I go to Bruma or do I head straight there? I know there's a goblin camp there. I'm just scared of the wilderness, of another wolf running up on me. I think wolves do like... I didn't want to look this up, but Creatures Oblivion. I don't know why I'm pausing so much. It was just a normal wolf, right? Normal wolf. Let's see. A normal wolf does 5 damage in an attack. That's not that bad. 30 damage unmitigated. I could survive. You know, with the shield plus with 40% armor, I could survive quite a bit. And if it got close, I could just pop all my shield potions I have. That's sort of my my trap card. It's my last resort, basically. Either use my greater power that gives me 50% shield for 60 seconds, or pop my 3 shield potions that give me 16% or 13% each. That is probably the best way to do it. If I get backed into a tight spot, backed into a corner. Fan of mixing idioms unintentionally. Like backed into a tight spot instead of backed into a corner or in a tight spot. Anyway. Holy fuck. God damn it, zombie. It's like a horror game. It's like a fucking horror game. Up until you become so powerful, then it becomes a horror game for the enemies. So it's always a horror game. It's just, are you the monster or are you the person trying to survive? Holy fuck. Once again. Good zombie. Once again, I do wish they had persistent health bars. Like, I think they do that in Skyrim. I think the Skyrim health bar, enemy health bar, it stays until you attack another enemy. I wish they had added that feature. Okay, we're coming up close to Bruma. Wolves haven't been too scary. I mean, I hit that guy a few times, so... Oh. God fucking damn it. He doesn't seem to have a bow. Which is good. I'm not fucking around with this guy. Yeah. Humans I'm not fucking around with. Pick all that up. Iron battle axe. Yeah. But yeah, that's exactly why I didn't level up, because if that guy had a, you know, well, he killed a wolf. Yeah, plundered mine. I think plundered mine is the mine with all the goblins. Okay. Yeah, this road loops back around, so I can just run straight there, probably. Hopefully no enemies come by. Yeah, the reason I want to use poisons on pretty much every human enemy is I've noticed that humanoid enemies tend to ignore, like, creature summons. That's what makes the Dremora Lord summon and the other Dremora summon really useful, is that if you summon them, enemies tend to latch onto that enemy type, because I think they count as an NPC. They have a, or you need a black soul gem to get their soul when you soul trap them. So they are like NPCs, and so I think that just means that enemies behave differently around them. Like there, you saw he ran past the zombie until I hit him weirdly. So yeah, I don't know. I just noticed that creature, undead, that sort of summons are just very inconsistent at drawing aggro from enemies, particularly from enemy NPCs.
I suppose I have a moment. What is it? What do you want?
What do I want?
Go
Let's
ahead.
persuade you. I love this minigame. Also, this is I'm gonna need to level up a bunch all at once. I'm gonna need to go from level 3 to ideally level 25 plus. So I'm gonna need. So super happy, angry, a little happy. Okay. So.
Yeah, I get it. Oh, please. Don't
That
try to
wasn't great.
manipulate me.
Now that I have the colors, it'll be easier.
You're wasting. Don't. I salute. Yeah, I get it.
That was pretty good. That was okay, actually, I think.
Don't wait. Gracious, what a hero. That's pretty good.
That was pretty good, actually. Now I'm almost back to even.
What nonsense. I salute you. You can. Sure, that's cute. I salute. Sure, don't.
Oh,
That's
bad.
just talk. Yeah, don't try to manipulate me. You can't scare me. Don't wait. You're wasting.
Oh, more slowly.
Such adventures. How I envy you. All right.
Great. Got him.
We're all
Any
talking.
rumors?
Farewell.
Nope. Nothing good. Let's see. So, the only things here, this is sort of an unplanned detour. Let's talk to the Fighters Guild here. The Fighters Guild questline's really weird. You have to go to like specific
We're looking
chapters and
if you're interested, see.
yeah, so I
Goodbye.
can't technically join here, which means I can't steal everything that they own. Which is unfortunate, if you ask me. Not because they have great stuff, but they have some stuff. I think I can join the Mages Guild from anyway. So, I'm gonna go jump down and join the Mages. Oh, I thought it was down there. Gonna jump over. Join the Mages Guild. I could even do the quest, Bruma recommendation.
Hello
Join the
The
Mages
guild
Guild.
is always accepting new members. You seem capable.
Yes, I want to join the
Very
guild.
good. You are now an associate of the Mages Guild.
I usually
Please
don't
keep
let
in
them go through
mind
the entire
that you'll
dialogue
need
just because I'm reading it
recommendations
faster
from
than they're saying
every
it.
local guild
So
hall
unless
in Cyrodiil.
if I've already heard it
I
before,
dare
which
say
I've
my
done this quest
opinion
before,
might carry more weight
I'm
than
not gonna
others,
listen to
if
them.
you take my meaning. Still,
I
all
apologize
are
in advance.
necessary to
Hopefully you have enough
proceed.
time to read it. If you're reading it.
A recommend? Well, of course. Raminus would This is a situation we can both benefit from. If you can find Jaskar, he's really disappeared. If someone from the council were to stop by and talk to the mages here and see what you can...
Okay,
Please come find me as soon as you've located Jaskar.
Oh, I will. Oh, I will. Scar's downstairs in the basement, invisible. Wait, don't. Magic. Not magic, character. I am an associate, okay. Usually that means you can steal everything. I can steal some things from here. Like the books, and then these two things. Hopefully these give me level up. Nope. Usually the value of the book has to be like 25 or higher. 25 or higher. Unfortunately, this is a pretty bad Mages Guild. They do not have that much. I could grab their... I could take their flour. Boar meat. Really? Let's see, how much, 218. Pretty good on weight. Might as well take this stuff. I don't know if I'm gonna make... Ooh, that does restore health as well. I don't know if I'm gonna make anything right now. Inventory 228. That's fine. Should be spamming my magic. It's 7 p.m. so the shopkeeper isn't there. I'm gonna wait 13 hours and then wait an extra hour. Yeah, I don't think there's too much to be found. There's the downstairs area with some sleeping quarters. That might have some stuff, but... Yep. I'm gonna wait an extra hour. Hopefully the owner, whoever, what's this person's name?
Hello.
Selena Orania.
My name is Selena Orania.
So I've heard. Let's see, what do you have? What do you
You
have?
might need a good strong
I
potion.
have a grand
Best to
soul
stock up
gem.
now while you can.
I can't sell better alchemical gear. One thing I'd like to see, poison ingredients. Do they have anything that can be used for poison? Eventually this can be, but not really. I'm not seeing any damage health effects, unfortunately. It's alright.
Be seeing you.
It's in this chest, it's in that chest, it's in these chests. Open this door. I know she has some. Well, I can take these for free, can't I? It's nice to have. Wow, what does this level up typically? How did I already see it? I haven't read like no books. Not gonna go in there yet. I mean, I'll definitely be back. Ooh, silver dagger. I actually didn't know that was there. That's as much damage as my steel short sword. Which is good. And also means I can hit ghost enemies. It's a very powerful hammer there. I'm gonna keep steel short sword for now because I'm really only gonna be meleeing. Actually, I'll equip this for now. This has less range but high DPS. You can attack much more quickly with this. Eventually daggers will be my weapon of choice.
How are you?
Fantastic.
You know what? Let's get back on the road. I don't think there's too much in here that I really need. And I can't stay online for too much longer. Okay, now the scariest part. I need to make sure to not aggro the goblins here. Technically, if I do aggro them, I just hit them with poison and then move on, but I only have so much poison. I stocked up a decent bit. Let's move this back to alphabetical. ABC damage health 13. I have 13 poisons right now. 13 poisons. I can make a few more. Yeah, I can make a decent number more. Let me make. Okay, and then sometimes you have to do that to reset the list. 23 damage health poisons. Perfect. Perfect. That's what I love to see. Alchemy up to 43. Sorry, I'm thinking. Maybe there's something in here that'll be useful. Let's just check real quick, see what they have. Maybe we can sell my iron arrows for steel arrows. Although that might be expensive because I have no money.
Have a look around.
Iron
You
arrows,
won't
steel
find
arrows.
better prices in all Tamriel.
Actually, let's just look weapons. Iron, steel, iron, fine iron. Fine iron bow. That actually is probably better to have. Let me sell this, sell this, sell this.
That's more than I'd use. You've made a good bit
I'm
of
gonna
gold.
keep a set of fur just in case I want to do some leveling of my light armor against like really weak enemies. I might keep just a set of fur armor because this is pretty goddamn light, and yeah. Plus, it's also will break easily, so I can use it as a means of repairing my or of upping my repair skill. Steel bow would be nice. I think fine iron and steel are close in damage. I have this up, so let me check. Steel, actually, fine iron and steel are the same damage it says here. I don't know if there's fractional damage. That's not listed here, but this would be good to have. This would be quite good to have. Gauntlets of Gluttony. Fortified Strength 15 is nice, but Drain Health 30 is awful. Okay. Fine Iron Bow. 39.
Another be seeing you.
Yeah, I do think there is fractional damage in this, but you know that isn't shown in the list damage, but it's hard to tell. You know, you just look at the list damage and say, okay, that's the damage. Let me walk outside here. I'm always scared that if I drop a stolen item that drop a stolen item that in front of someone, they'll know that I stole it, even though that's not how that works. It's an irrational fear. Ugh. Sorry, it's an irrational fear of mine. Makes my stomach upset, apparently. I don't know if there's anyone else to talk to. I didn't do much. I didn't do many quests, much of anything, in Bruma, in my previous playthrough. I don't know if there's someone in here that'll give me something or say something to me.
Go ahead. Farewell.
Out of the 9. Thanks. Ah, yeah, so that's how this works. You have to make a pilgrimage to one of them, and then you can do all of them. Interesting, interesting. Okay, I think that's pretty much all I was going to do here. Yeah.
A coin for an old. I'm
gonna give you a coin because I need to give a coin to every beggar in the entire game in order to do one of the master training quests. So, might as well give him a coin now. Okay, now I have to go all the way up there. Yeah. I'm a little torn as to whether or not I should keep my shield out, my sword and shield out all the time, or... God, that guy's so slow. Or whether or not I should, keep the bow out. Because ideally, I wouldn't have anyone run up to me in melee distance and hit me. Yeah, that plundered mine I have to avoid a little. I also don't want to stick too much on the road because bandits, possibly. I know that the actual path up there, I know one path is on like the far side of the mountain, but we're going to be doing it old school style. Gonna be jumping repeatedly. Jumping repeatedly. Oh, God, you are so slow. Dragonclaw Rock does not sound like a place I want to go. Doesn't sound like a place that I want to go to. Motherwort. Always good to get some more. Ugh. Knoll Mountain. Only 140... Gee, what is the unit of distance in this game? Meters? I'm gonna say meters. Only 140 meters. Although, I guess it'd make more sense if it was feet, because it's an American-made game. But 140 meters, now down to 100. I could chug a restore fatigue potion, but I don't think there's any need really. Should probably be spamming this mysticism spell. Kind of interesting how they. So I think they removed mysticism in Skyrim, if I remember. It's just alteration and illusion. Do you feel like mysticism kind of falls in a strange spot in the sense that you could kind of say, like, I don't know. As detect life doesn't really fit perfectly into alteration or illusion. Maybe illusion. Illusion is like. Actually, how do you define the difference between alteration and illusion spells? I bet people who play D&D know all these specific differences. Alteration, I feel like, has like you make a physical change to something in the world. Like I become physically stronger, whereas illusion is like a deception of that. But then illusion and this in Oblivion is like paralyzed as well. It's like charm, which makes sense. I hope no one attacks me. That was a weird. Standing on the barrel, something weird was happening. Yeah, I don't think anyone can spawn here or does spawn here. I think this is just a little camp that no one spawns at. Made it to Frostcrag Spire. And with that, the journey is over. I've beaten the game. Perhaps I shouldn't be so overconfident. There are many other instances that are going to be scary. But that's a big step. I have to say, if you plan it carefully enough, I'm pretty sure most people could beat it on Master Mode, beat this game on Master Mode without dying. That's just how careful you want to be. You also have to be willing to look up things. Particularly if you're going to do 100%, you kind of have to be willing to look things up. Perfect, we got that quest. And once I enter here, I will be able to buy stuff from that one person. Yeah, Orlin Way. Orlin Way? Orlin Way? Elvish names. Always difficult to pronounce. A-Dog, that's what I'm gonna call it. Or A-Way. A-Way. You know what, it doesn't matter what you call her. Yeah, now I can buy the upgrades from her, which is, holy moly, my own zombie scared the ever-living shit out of me. Oh yeah, I was like, wait a minute, isn't this wall not supposed to be here? I forgot there's a whole animation. It's like, I could have sworn I was able to teleport from this plot. So if I wasn't able to teleport from here, it's gonna be a long trek to Coral. Well, not that long, I could follow this. That's still a pretty goddamn long way. I don't think there's too much to find without the upgrades. I'm gonna take a quick look around. See if there is anything. Don't think so. Till you buy the stuff, this place is pretty goddamn empty. Oh, wait, really? Damn, I thought that you had to buy an upgrade for all this stuff. That is actually really good. I have to watch my weight. Okay, I should have enough to harvest all this. That's good. This gives me a good variety of alchemical ingredients. I can drop the pumpkins because those just way too much. But yeah, no, that's good. Good to have. Good to have. Good to have for when I have 100 alchemy. Part of the reason I didn't want to use some of the alchemical ingredients, particularly the damage health ones earlier, was that I want to save a good amount of them for when I actually get to 100 alchemy to make the strongest potion or strongest poisons. Though granted, if we take a quick look at this, this is 3 points of damage for 11 seconds, so 33 total damage. The potion or the poisons I was using before my character died were 7 points for 26. So I mean, doing the math, these are only about 1/5 as effective. I guess my point is that they don't get that much more effective, you know, because that was like 100 health with like all expert gear, and I think 1 master gear, 1 master alchemy gear. So poisons will not be that much more effective, but still, might as well save it for when they're a bit more effective. I also don't have weakness to poison, which means that certain enemies will have some resistance to the poison or even immunity in some cases, I think. I think it's pretty rare to have full poison immunity, only like Argonians. So, yep. Ooh, dude, an Argonian thief on the road. That would be scary. Gotta stay off the roads. I think because I wisely stayed level 3, or stayed a low level, fighting the bandits in combat with my summons wouldn't be too bad. I would just have to hold my shield and keep resummoning when they stagger from block. So wouldn't have been the end of the world to run into an Argonian thief, but let's be thankful that I did not. Okay. Now teleport time. Teleport time. We're gonna teleport down to Coral City, Shaden Hall. Coral. There it is. Coral Mages Guild. Perfect. And I think that's a good stopping point. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff here that I can steal that they're happy with me stealing. I think even some grand soul gems. This guy in here, he's going to become my best friend. He's going to give me thousands of gold, and he's going to watch me farm quite a bit.
Well met. Hello.
Actually, he's not going to watch me farm. He's going to watch me do a lot of alchemy. Game at dinner. That's a value of 200. Actually, can I just take this and sell it back to him for a bunch of money? Oh, and not until my mercantile is high enough can I do that. I'm already overweight. That is not great. I need to drop the pumpkins, right? Pumpkins weigh so much for no good reason, really. Although I guess pumpkins do weigh that much, but
I heard that someone saw the ghost
anyway.
Perfect.
Perfect. Yeah. This is where I'm gonna be. I'm gonna be sitting in this corner on top of this display case quite a
They
bit.
say that slavery has been abolished.
I guess I'll explain it. You know what? I can explain it next time I start playing.
The slave trade
But
and freed the beast folk
hey,
from
you
servitude.
guys be quiet. Let me go outside. Do the outro. I don't know if I have an outro. Just kind of winging all this. Thrived in Coral. Yes, I have.
Good for you. Have you heard any word about the other
Yeah, I'm gonna be here for a long while. I did something similar to this in my.
I don't think we've met. Are you?
a much more dangerous place.
Likewise, I'm always glad to meet someone new. My mother owns no. You have.
Okay. I didn't realize she just walks up to you and starts conversation. But very cool. Yeah. So I'm gonna be running around basically back and forth between here and Odal Farms down the road. The route is completely safe from what I saw back when I was doing it on my other character. And yeah, I'm gonna get alchemy to 100, which should go by faster than it did last when I did it before, because I actually have it as a major skill now, and I'm already at 44. From the potions I make, I will amass enough wealth to buy all the upgrades for Frostcracked Spire and for Deepscorn Hollow, and probably a ton of extra money on top of that, hopefully. Actually, I'll probably get 100 alchemy before I get enough money. I'll probably start being a money grind after that because, well, I'm going to need a lot of money. I need a lot of money. I'm also going to need to buy grand soul gems from this guy, the guy in there, in order to enchant all my gear with the shield enchant. I'm going to be able to enchant because I'm going to buy the upgrade for Frostcrack Spire, and then I will have 90 or 85% shield for for the beginning of the game. Yeah. Ideally, actually, I don't know if this is going to be possible, would be to get to level 25 in this span of time as well. So as I run back and forth, I'll be leveling alchemy. From selling, I'll be leveling mercantile. From running out and jumping, I'll be leveling athletics and acrobatics. And from just spamming any sort of magic. First, it's going to be conjuration 100 because that's important. And then if I still am running back and forth, restoration I think is the next thing I'd want to get to 100. And then like illusion and mysticism because I don't have a destruction spell I can spam. So point being is I'm going to try and get to as high level as possible. I'm going to try and accumulate as much XP, and then I'm going to see what level I can get to. I'm going to just go to sleep, level up, sleep, level up, sleep, level up, sleep, level up, just to see to what level I can get to. And then if I am able to get to level 25, I'll load the original save back to level 3 and then make preparations for some other things. But yeah, essentially, I am trying to amass wealth and levels because I want to get to level 25 to get the leveled raiment of the Crimson Scar from Deepscorn Hollow, and also along with Deepscorn Hollow, the leveled jewelry in the there's a one of the secret stashes in Deepscorn Hollow has a guaranteed leveled enchanted jewelry, and I'm going to save reset until I get a either Ring of the Iron Fist with 33% reflect or the amulets, the Sword of Blades and the Sword of or the Necklace of Blades and the Necklace of Axes or something like that. One of those three, because that will mean that before doing anything really, anything combat-wise or too much into the combat, I can have 100. Another thing I have to do is also get my light armor up. Anyway, there's a lot of details to it, but yeah, basically I'm trying to get really good armor and a guaranteed enchanted jewelry that'll give me 68% damage reflect, while also having 100 light armor by paying for my light armor training, which I actually can avoid by draining my skill temporarily before I talk to them, blah blah blah. I'm basically trying to set up where I have 100 light armor, and I have the raiment, and I have this ring, and yeah. Once I have those things, I should be able to just do stuff normally for a while. And the first thing I'll do is then go to, actually, the quest starts here in Coral, the guy who's complaining about someone impersonating him over in Shadenhall. But I'll do, actually, wait, is it Shadenhall or Skingrad? Anyway, the whole Coral quest line with the two brothers and getting the Escutcheon of Coral to then have 100%, over 100% damage reflect, which will really be when I am powerful against most damage except for bows. Bows will still be able to... Actually, once I get 85% damage resistance, bows aren't that big of a deal. They'll be, they'll still be a little scary, but only in situations where I can't like LOS them, break line of sight. Anyway, that is all for this first part. This will probably take like 160 hours, I think, based on how far I was in my previous attempt and how much I had left to do. And it might take less because I know more now, but yeah, a lot of the time was also spent just looking things up and like, how much damage is it going to do? Am I actually safe? Blah 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 blah. And now I know all that, and I have a good path forward, so I'm not gonna have to. Until I get to like real questing, I'm not gonna have to look too much up. But yeah, 100% permadeath master mode, and this beautiful Oblivion remastered. Gonna be fun. Twill be fun. And that is all. Let's save the game. Stop recording.